What's up, everybody? Peter Rees coming at you live right now. I apologize. I don't have my normal mic set up, or my mic is not working the same way it normally does. So if it doesn't sound very good, I apologize. Hopefully, you guys can get my basic point I'm trying to get across here. As always, do these instant reactions live from the car after the 25-30 minutes or so we get of the media viewing portion of practice. So we've had a week off here. This is practice number 4, spring practice number 4 for the Miami Hurricanes. And it was a spring break week, so a lot of guys were back home. Some guys were obviously still here working out. We saw some of the videos of the offensive linemen working out, but everyone obviously excited here. Beautiful weather today in Coral Gables. So got some recruits on campus, Jackson Cantwell being one of them. And just a great day for that. Nice week ahead here should be of weather. So that's nice. But in terms of what we saw out there, just wanted to get to some of my observations. We've done this now for a few shows. So some of the stuff might be a bit repetitive, but got a good look at some one-on-ones today, and some guys who continue to stick out. Starting with, to me, Dylan Day is someone that I'm very, very excited about his potential moving forward here. He's someone who is, I think, getting in a position where I think he could grab one of those starting spots potentially next to Zechariah Poyser. And guys, the parking guy's in front of me, so if I have to stop here in a second, I'm here parked in one of the spots. I don't know if he's trying to get me right now, but I apologize if I'm looking kind of away from the camera here. But Dylan Day had a really nice pick today on Luka Gilbert, obviously a big tight end, and did a good job. It was a pass breakup at first, and then ended up getting the interception on a route near the sideline where Luka Gilbert was really trying to use that big body of his and shield him off, and Dylan Day did a really nice job there. But he's someone, I think, just looking at him, even going through positional work, one-on-one, not one-on-one, but positional work without any offensive guy in front of him, just looks really, really smooth. I think he is someone that I'm very, very high on. Nice evaluation by Coach Guidry a couple years ago there. Emmanuel Carnley, still want to see him in these one-on-ones. I think get a little bit more confidence. That length is a lot to deal with, though. So if he can get some confidence and learn how to really keep guys, I would say not away from him, but use that length to his advantage, right? A guy who's not slow either, but I think sometimes in these one-on-ones, it's not to his advantage because he is such a big guy out there. But just, man, I don't know if it was because he was wearing long sleeves today or what, but looked particularly big out there at the cornerback spot. Markel Bell, wanted to just mention him randomly. These notes are kind of all over the place. I just kind of jot stuff down as I see it. But Markel Bell, I think he's going to put himself in position to be a top 50 sort of pick in the NFL draft next year. Great shape, and his body's always looked good for someone who is as tall as he is, at 6'8", 6'9", but he just towers over these other offensive linemen. This is not a small offensive line by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it's a big offensive line. So just seeing him with that group on the other side of the field, it's crazy to see how he moves. And you only get to see so much because they're completely on the other side, but it's just crazy to me how he towers over that group, and knowing that he can move really well for that size as well is impressive. Just was paying attention to Corey Heatherman, new defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, working with that linebacker group. Intense, man, but always seems to be in control. Some of these coaches, I like to look at their coaching styles when they first get in here, and he's not a yeller just to yell, right? He's very assertive in the way that he coaches, seems to be intentional in what he's doing. And again, it's not, he seems to be teaching and really coaching guys up. It's not just yelling just to yell, which to me, you can you can tell when there's real coaching going on, and you can tell. And I'm not saying that's how Guidry was, by the way. I'm not comparing him to Guidry in that respect. I'm just saying in general, like what I've seen early on with Heatherman, there's been some good returns from people who are around the program. Getting to some one-on-ones here, guys, and we should be going live also later with D Money, so stay tuned for that. But one-on-ones, not too much stuff down the field today. A lot of in-breaking and out-breaking routes. 5 yards, 7 yards, and in. Not too much downfield from what we saw in the one-on-ones. Again, JoJo Trader to me is separating himself as the number one receiver on this team right now. Had a 5-yard comeback on Charles Brantley that looked effortless. Then a few reps later, just he was put. This was one of the deeper routes we saw today. Was pushing the defender upfield and looked like he had, he has that deep threat, has that deep speed, broke the route off to the inside on Brantley again, who was covering him, and made an easy reception. Josh Moore had a nice rep. It looked like it was on a walk-on, but just using that big body to shield off the corner near the sideline. Malachi Toney, really nice inside route on Amari Wallace in coverage. Just, again, 5 yards, 6 yards, breaks the route off inside, and it just looks very fluid in and out of his breaks, in and out of his cuts. Dalen Upshaw had a similar route there where he worked the inside on Emmanuel Carnley. Upshaw looks good, man. He looks physically ready and pretty polished for a young guy coming in at that size. Malachi Toney is also very polished. Josh Moore, I think, just wins with physicality, but has some speed as well. And as he refines his game as a receiver, should be an absolute weapon. But Upshaw, man, don't sleep on him when you talk about these freshman receivers. Markeith Williams, nice pass breakup on Ray Joseph. Elijah Lofton on Zechariah Poyser, 5-yard out near the sideline. Lofton, just, you could tell Lofton is not a fun guard. He's so wide and sturdy, but has the quicks, strong hands, so can snatch the ball. He's able to shield people off, kind of box them out, but at the same time go and grab the ball with his hands and not let the ball get to his body. So really impressive play by Lofton. Let me see what else here. Well defended route by Xavier Lucas, but a really nice catch by Nikar. Outstretched arms. He was kind of diving, leaning, and had to, kind of put his hands above his head while he was falling to the ground diving. And it was nice coverage by Lucas, but Nikar did a good job of kind of shielding him off and making the play with his hands. So, yeah, man, I think that it was some nice one-on-ones today. Let me see what else we had here. If there's anything else that I'm missing from those one-on-ones. No, that's pretty much it. As I was walking out, I saw Lamar Miller. Who else was there? It was Lamar Miller. It was actually Levante David. It was Travis Benjamin, and it was Alan Hearns. They were walking into practice. That was cool to see those guys. But yeah, those were my reaction. That's my instant reaction. Those were my thoughts from. Let me see if I get some of these practice questions here. Johnny Lagoon says Day has speed. Agreed. Speed we saw on special teams and physicality, and he's smooth, man. He can cover as well. Johnny Lagoon asked about Derek Plaz. You can only really see a handful of things from the other side of the field in terms of offensive and defensive lines. So you see what you can. That's more of a question for D Money, I would say. So let me see. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for now. Stay tuned. Be back on later. Thank you to Anajar and Levine, as always, for sponsoring these shows. Take back control of your life with the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Dial 1-800-747-FREE, 1-800-747-3733. All right, guys, stay tuned. Be back on later with D Money. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Go Canes.